will you be having a gender reveal, or do you guys know the gender already? So I'm gonna share with you guys a video. We actually got the gender results, so let's play that really quick.
Go find that one.
For real?
If you want.
Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is going to be a Q&A. I'm going to be answering some of the most asked questions that I've gotten since announcing that I am pregnant. So I did do a post on my Instagram stories where I asked you guys to submit your questions. That I picked out the most answered questions. I'm gonna have them here on my iPad. I do feel like it's gonna be a lengthy video, so grab some water, grab some drinks, grab a snack, a little cocktail if you'd like, just to enjoy this video. I am going to start off with this question specifically because I took a while to answer these questions. So I think I did this post for you guys to ask me the questions back maybe 2 months ago or maybe a month ago when I announced that I was pregnant. So a lot of the questions have been answered already in some of the videos that I uploaded in the past few weeks, in the past month. The first question is, how far along are you? I am now 18 weeks, depending on who you're asking, because my doctors are going based off of my last period, the first day of my last period. So according to them, I think I'm entering 19 weeks. According to the day that I know I conceived, I am 18 weeks. It's just a few days apart, not a big difference. Almost halfway through, which is really crazy to think that. I feel like I found out really early on, and I can't believe I'm already going through the halfway mark. Was the baby planned? If so, was it hard to become pregnant? Congratulations, by the way. Thank you. Also, did you get pregnant? Was a similar question. Did you get pregnant right away? It's been hard for me to get pregnant. Any advice? Yes and no. So what had happened was I was ovulating. What happened? How you make a baby happened, right? And normally we're very careful. I normally know when I'm ovulating, and we make sure that we use protection, but we had just gotten married, so we had the conversation already. Okay, well, if it happens, it happens. It was more of a, okay, let's just stop using protection or avoiding those days, because if it happens, it happens. To me, it was more honestly of, I didn't think it would happen right away. I had this idea in my head that I was going to have trouble conceiving or getting pregnant. I really just, I don't know, maybe it's because of so many videos that I've seen of a lot of women that actually do struggle. I didn't think I'd be fortunate enough to get pregnant right away. I don't know why, honestly. I was on birth control for a very long time. So it's not a short answer. I just didn't think it would happen right away, and it happened to happen right away, and here we are now. So yeah, I did get pregnant right away. Again, I didn't think I would. Do I have any advice as someone who got pregnant right away and did not struggle getting pregnant? There's not much I could say. All I could offer you is to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm sure it takes a lot when you're struggling. I'm sorry that you are struggling. I would say try to just be healthy. I think a lot of times there's people that might think they're being healthy when they're not. There's so many toxic things that we put in our body nowadays, especially with all the highly processed foods. You guys know, if you follow me for a while, that I'm all about trying to be healthy, be better, and you really want to look into all of those things. But again, I don't know, maybe you are living a healthy life and you're just struggling for other reasons. So honestly, I would not know. I believe in God, and I feel like everything happens for a reason, and your time will come, and I pray that your time comes. And I'm sending you all the baby dust that you could get. But yeah, that's all I could say. I think take care of yourself. I know sometimes it's not even the girl, it could be the guy. So I don't know what your story is. I don't know if you guys have gotten checked out. I would definitely, I don't know, go to the doctor and see if you can figure out what the issue is. I'm sure if I would have been struggling, which is why I had told my husband, like, let's just, you know, stop taking care of ourselves, because I did want to know if we were going to struggle so that I could start doing my research, start trying to get healthier, do whatever I had to do to be able to get pregnant. So I don't know, I would just say do a lot of research. It could be anything. So yeah, that's my advice. I'm sorry that I couldn't help too much. How far along were you with pregnancy when you found out? Again, I found out early. I was 4 weeks pregnant, but the days kind of like confuse me because, like I said, the doctors, they go based off of my last period. I go based off the day I conceived. Technically, I was 2 weeks pregnant when I found out. From the day that I found out that I was pregnant, it had been 2 weeks from the day that I was ovulating. Normally, the weeks in pregnancy count from your last period, because on average, women tend to ovulate 2 weeks after that. I ovulated a little bit after the 2 week mark, which is why I'm saying that my days are off. They don't want to change out the doctors. I don't know why. I'm like, I know that this is the day I conceived, but they keep it to where my last period, which was at the beginning of the month, and I actually conceived the last week of the month. So I was technically 2 weeks pregnant, but because they added those extra 2 weeks, I was 4 weeks pregnant. So I hope that makes sense. But the baby was made 2 weeks before I found out that I was pregnant. Congrats. Next question. Congrats. What are you hoping for, girl or boy? I honestly, I know, like, my family keeps asking me this and they really want me to give them an answer. They're like, come on, what do you really want? And honestly, God, I do not care what it is. Maybe it's because it's my first baby, so I don't have a preference. I could see me having a boy or a girl. The only thing that would point me more towards another gender would be the fact that we have a lot of boys right now that were born. We had one born in April, we had two born in September. My sister's is due in November, and those are all 4 boys right there. So my cousin just this past weekend broke the boy chain, and we found out she's having a girl. She had her gender reveal. So now I'm like, okay, well, it'd be nice to have a girl, because that way her girl's not alone, and it's 4 boys. Like, I can't imagine it being 5 boys and just 1 girl. But that's the only reason why I would point more, I guess, towards a girl. But I always, I guess, hoped that my boy would be first, because I feel like the boy would be more of the one protecting the rest of their siblings if we have more, or just because I feel like, don't come at me because I don't know this, okay, but I feel like boys would, I guess, be easier. Not too much worrying about their hair. Yes, the haircuts maybe, but not about like styling it. I have curly hair, so I do think about like, oh my god, my little girl has curly hair. Pobrecita, I love my curly hair, and little girls look super cute with curly hair, but curly hair is high maintenance. So I do think about that, about the hairstyles and the dressing up, and it's fun. Yes, it's gonna be cute, but it's also more. So maybe I feel like a boy would be easier in that sense as well. But yeah, I really don't care, other than I just hope I have a healthy baby. I've been very anxious this whole pregnancy, just, you know, hoping for the best, but sometimes expecting the worst. And I just hope that this baby makes it out healthy, and we have I have a whole healthy pregnancy, and that's all that matters to me right now. How many babies do you plan on having in the future? First of all, I didn't even plan on having one. I didn't even plan on being married. So there's your answer. Honestly, me and my husband talk about it. He wants a bigger family. We both are 4 in our family. So I have 3 siblings. He has 3 other siblings. And that's kind of what he hopes for. He does want a bigger family. he says he thinks about it in the long run, in the future, when we're older and we have our kids visiting, how it'd be nicer to have a bigger family, more grandkids versus just having one or two kids visiting us, which I get it. I'm thinking just more financially and just mentally, like what I could handle. So I would always tell him, look, you're lucky if you get one, and maybe I'll give you two, but who knows, maybe I'll end up with the 4 kids. Honestly, it's just, I didn't even want to have any, and meeting him really made me want to have a family, because I have such a great husband that it opened up that part of my life for me that I never thought would happen. So I guess we're gonna see. It depends how I'm feeling. It depends how this pregnancy goes, how I feel with this child as, you know, they get a little bit older. We don't have a lot of time as well. We're older. I'm 32. So definitely want to have all the kids that I have before I turn 40. And I think about that too. Like if we do go for the 4, I would pretty much have to have them back to back. And would I want to put myself through that? And it's just so much. So my answer to you right now, I guess, is gonna be, we're okay with this one. Maybe we'll give it another sibling. We're just gonna see how the first one goes. If God blesses us with more, the more the merrier, but that's just gonna be determined based off of whatever the future has in store for us. Next question. I don't know if someone will ask this, but how are you feeling mentally, physically? Thank you so much for asking. I feel great. I feel like I've been having a very smooth pregnancy. The first trimester was a little bit more tough just because of the symptoms I had going on. But I did mention in a prior video, it was nothing I couldn't handle. It wasn't where I was hating life. I've been remaining very active. I've been walking, making sure to get my 10K steps every day. I could be better in being healthier food-wise, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best that I can. I could do better though. I could definitely do better. Mentally, it's kind of just, I'm trying not to freak out. There's days where I'm like, oh my God, how are we gonna do it? We had like an agenda. We wanted, like, I personally, we're renting the house that we're in. I wanted us to get a house first, so we would just have our set home before, you know, bringing a child into this, and just wanted us to be more financially stable. But like they say, you could never be ready for a baby. So I feel like mentally there's times where I like overthink things, but at the same time it already happened, the baby's coming. So I just try to be like, you know what, you're gonna handle it, you're gonna do the best that you can, and everything's gonna be okay. So thank you so much for asking. I'm doing pretty good. Thankfully, I've been having a smooth pregnancy. I have a very supportive husband. I have a very supportive family who keeps calling me and checking up on me. The only hard thing right now is that my husband is working really long hours, so it sucks because it's like a time that I want him to be here and kind of just like baby my pregnancy, you know, just be here and be like, what do you need? Are you craving anything? Even though honestly there's no cravings. But yeah, I just wish I had more time with my husband, but it's okay. He's working and we're trying to just get ready for this baby, you know? So I'm okay though. I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that. I guess physically too, I don't feel pregnant. If I'm being honest, that's another thing. I don't feel pregnant every day. I'm like, am I really pregnant? My bump is not really showing, other than I do feel like when I lay down, it does feel harder versus before. It would more like flatten out and be more like squishy. I have, you know, I have a belly, so it'd be more squishy. Now it is getting more firm, but I don't really look pregnant, other than like in the morning I wake up, I'm already 4.5 months pregnant, and when I wake up, I posted a video, I'll probably show it on here, where I actually looked more pregnant in the beginning of the pregnancy than now. The reason being is because I was very bloated early on. I was constipated. I was feeling very gassy. Now I know what food will help me feel better so I don't feel as bloated and constipated. It's just having a high fiber diet that has helped me. So I feel like I've been physically doing great. So yeah, Next question, congratulations, were you pregnant at your wedding? Did you get married because you were pregnant? This was like the #1 asked question. I know why you guys are curious, so I don't blame y'all for asking. I know a lot of people have been having my back, like on TikTok. I did like a response video where some people took it the wrong way, where I was just responding and it was like a fun response video, and people had my back saying, why do people care if I was or if I wasn't? And I can get it. Like, I want to thank everyone that was over there defending me, but I get it. I feel like if I followed someone, I probably would wonder the same thing. I would wonder it, so I understand. I'm sharing my life out there, and I understand that you guys are curious about this. So, was I pregnant at my wedding? No, I was not pregnant at my wedding. Did you get married because you were pregnant? No, I did not get married because I was pregnant. So this is what I explained on TikTok. I think some people, not all, some people want to really believe that there was a reason why Alex and I decided to just get married in a week, or we planned our wedding in a week. But I need to remind y'all that we got engaged a year ago. We talked about this for the past year because we hoped that our anniversary would be the day that we would get married, and that's when he proposed to me the day after our actual anniversary of becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. So we really wanted either the day he proposed to me or the day that we officially got together to be our wedding day. Next year it wasn't gonna work out to where we would be able to get married on a Friday or a Saturday, and we just didn't want to wait any longer. And I really feel like we just wanted to be married already. Like, we love each other, we're already living together, we just wanted to make it legal. We know that this is legit, you know, like this is for real. Like, we want to be married, we want to be together for life. And I think it was really just hard for people to accept that there was no reason other than that. And that's why a lot of people think that, oh, I came out pregnant, oh, there's a reason why you guys got married, because you were pregnant. And there's no reason for me to hide if that was the case. Like, there's no reason for me to not be honest about it. I get my period early in the month. That's how they're basing off my weeks. So I actually got my period a few days after the wedding. I got my period on the 7th. I got married on the 2nd of June. We conceived the last week of our wedding month. So it wasn't even a honeymoon baby. I guess it was, because we were in our little honeymoon stage, I guess. Not that way. I feel like we've been in our honeymoon stage since the beginning, honestly. But we didn't have a honeymoon. We didn't like go off for a few days after our wedding. This literally just happened the last week of my wedding month. That's when the baby was conceived. I found out I was pregnant July 13th. I think that was the exact date. So we had conceived 2 weeks before that. Not exactly 2 weeks, but a little over 2 weeks probably. So yeah, that's your answer. I got pregnant after. I'm due in March. So if you calculate it, you can literally go on put a pregnancy due date calculator. My last period was June 7th, and it's gonna give you the date. And I got married June 2nd. So baby came after the wedding. Next question, what are your symptoms? I am 12 weeks and still going through it. Congratulations. I did a video where I did all of my symptoms for the first trimester, so I'll go ahead and link it in the description box if you haven't watched it, or if any of you are interested in knowing what my symptoms were. I went week by week. I explained all of my symptoms that I was having in the first trimester. Second trimester has been golden. I actually started feeling better. I mentioned in that video at week 9, where I wasn't feeling nauseous anymore, and I was just feeling great. So a little bit before the first trimester was up, I actually was feeling good. I know there's people that start feeling better up until 12 weeks. The girl that did my ultrasound actually mentioned that she started feeling better at 17 weeks. So again, everyone's different, but I've been thankfully feeling great Do you guys already have baby names? By the way, I'm so excited, and I'm so happy and excited for you guys. Best wishes. Thank you so much. We have baby names. We have baby names that we had discussed before being pregnant. Just got thrown them out there, and there's a name that I've liked for many years. I want to say like a decade now, that I was like, maybe when I have my baby, a girl, that's the name that I want. So it's stuck through for now. My husband's okay with it. For the boy, we have a name as well, but we have a list. We have a list of boy and girl names. We just don't know for sure yet. We have our top names for each gender, but there's many times already that we've kind of just broken our heads looking into names, and we decided to just stop looking until we find out the gender. And then we'll decide, okay, do we want the name that our top pick, or should we look more into that gender? That way we're not, you know, looking into both and going crazy trying to find a name. So yeah, we do have names in mind. Did you get family reactions? Congrats, been watching you since yours and Yvette's scary stories videos. Ooh, that's been years. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. I did get my family's reactions. You probably saw it already, but if you didn't, again, I already posted that video. I'll link it in the description box. Were you on birth control? If so, how long did it take for you to detox and get pregnant? I got on birth control pretty young. I think I was like 20. I think I was like 20 years old. I got the IUD, the hormonal 5-year Mirena IUD, and I had it for, I think I went over the 5 years. I think I had it for about 6 years, because they say that it's still effective for about a year or two after. And then I went to swap it, and I had it for another, right, or 5 years. I think I might have gotten it at 19. I'm not sure. Maybe at 19. I don't remember the exact year. So I had it for 5 years. It worked great. Clearly, I didn't get pregnant. And then I had it for, when did I did a video on here. I'll find it and I'll link it as well, where I talk about me taking out my IUD. I was just wondering if it was messing with my hormones. I haven't done an update since. I don't feel like it really was messing with my hormones though. I think I felt pretty okay after I took it out. I think it probably took about a month or two to get my period back to normal after getting the IUD out, but I did take it out, I believe it was 2 years ago already. So I was 2 years off of birth control. Again, I'm very regular when it comes to my period, so I was able to track when I would get my period and when I would ovulate. So I would just make sure to use extra protection the days that I was ovulating. And by extra protection, if you're wondering, we were using condoms, and just making sure that even though we were using condoms, there was the pull out, and yeah, TMI, but we're just being careful when it came to me ovulating. So I wasn't on birth control now, but I was off it for 2 years. I know my mom had the IUD before she had my youngest sister, and she was able to get pregnant a month after having the IUD, which is why I felt safe getting the IUD, because I knew my mom had gotten it. I know for some people it hasn't been the great experience, but for me, I loved the IUD. If I needed to get back on birth control, I probably would get back on the IUD. I just started really thinking about, is it really healthy to not get my period? Because I wouldn't get my period every month. I actually would probably get it like once or twice a year, and I would only spot lightly, which is why I took it out too, because I wanted to let my body do what it needed to do, what it was intended to do. But I feel like if I did have to go back on birth control, I would definitely do the IUD, because I had it twice, the Mirena, and it worked wonders for me. Bendiciones para todos. Thank you. So she said, blessings to you all. Will you be home with your mom after labor or getting help? I will probably have her come to my home. I think it'd be easier just because we're gonna have all the baby stuff here, all of my stuff. But I wanna hope that we have a smooth labor and delivery, to where it's just my husband and I, especially the first night. If there's no complications, of course. I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm hoping for the best, but I know that the worst could happen. But as of now, I would definitely like for my husband and I to try to figure it out together. I feel like we're both grown, and I'm pretty sure that we can get through this, but I'm definitely not going to be scared to ask for help. If I do need my mom, I'd rather her come to me. I know she'd be willing to stay over if needed, but again, I don't think that will be necessary unless there's some sort of complications where I'm gonna need help. But I do feel like this is just, I want it to be my immediate family now, where it's my husband and my child, and I want us to bond, especially the first nights, to where it's just us. We're only one call away. My mom lives super close, my parents live super close, my sister lives super close. So I know that if I need their help, they'll be here in a heartbeat. Thankfully, I have that support system, but we'll see how labor and delivery goes. Next question. Were you sad because your little sister had the first grandbaby before you? Just curious. No, not at all, because I actually have a niece. I think I've shown her on here a few times. A lot of people think it's just me and my sisters, but I actually have an older brother who had my niece. My niece is now 11, I believe. So she was our first baby. She was our first little blessing. So no, I was not sad. I was sad, and I mentioned in the video where I said that she was pregnant, I was sad that she was pregnant, but because she's my baby, I pretty much raised her, and to me it felt like a stab. It's just, I feel like I was the parent and my young child was telling me that she was pregnant. She's 19 years old. She'll be 20 early next year, and to me that was pretty young, as I'm sure it is to a lot of y'all, and I was sad because, not because I wasn't happy that she was gonna give us a little blessing, but it was more of me thinking about her and how she still had to explore a lot in life. But that was the only sad part of it. But I was not sad that she beat me to it. Of course not. I'm happy. I can't wait to meet our little Sebastian. His name is gonna be Sebastian, so I'm excited. Definitely not sad that she beat me to it though. Is this his first baby? I was surprised to see that question, because we've been together for 4 or 5 years, and I guess it would make sense if he had a child and didn't want to show him on camera or anything like that. But I feel like I would have talked about it already, you know, like I would have said like he has a kid or other kids. No, this is his first child, thankfully. Honestly, I dated someone in the past that did have a kid, and then well, I dated like 2 people in the past that had kids, and this is where my pickiness would come in, to where I would say I didn't want to date someone that had kids because I had already experienced it. But I wasn't like definitely like, no, I won't talk to you at all if you have kids. But it was kind of more of a yes, kids type of thing. Like if I would find out someone had kids, it would kind of push me a little bit, but not that I would not give them the time of the day. I would think about how my first moments of me having a kid would not be my partner's first moments. So it's something that made me want to hopefully find someone that didn't have any kids. Not that I was saying absolutely not, I'm not going to talk to that person because they have kids, but it was more of I wanted to share that experience with my person for the first time. I wanted my first to be his first. I wanted everything that had to do with a kid to be our first. So I'm thankful that Alex doesn't have kids. Again, well, actually no, if he would have had kids, I think it would have been really hard just because of his past for it to work out. But yeah, I don't know if that would have worked, but I'm glad that he doesn't have kids. No, there's no kids involved. Have you been getting any cravings, or is it just Alex? No cravings, thankfully. I even did a video on TikTok where I asked, which I'll ask you guys, for those of you that have been pregnant, are pregnancy cravings, excuse me, different from normal cravings? Because I can tell you that I get cravings, but they're like the usual cravings. Not much in the first trimester because I was more nauseous. After the 9 weeks is when I started enjoying food again, where I was like, okay, this sounds good, this doesn't. To me, I feel like they've been normal cravings, nothing out of the normal, nothing to where I'm craving something more often than the usual. I feel like Alex was craving more sweets at the beginning of the pregnancy. I noticed that he would get more like snacks, like sweet stuff, and I would ask him like, do you have cravings? That's weird, because he's not a sweet tooth person. I'm the one that has a sweet tooth in the relationship. Since we've met, I've always been the one that I'm like, like after a meal, I want chocolate, I want something sweet. It's just what I enjoy after having a meal. So I did notice for a bit that he was more going for the sweets, but it was just for a little bit. I haven't noticed him having any type of cravings right now. And I've also heard that sometimes they come until the third trimester, but as of now, I haven't had cravings that are out of the normal, out of the usual. I've had cravings that I had before being pregnant, so I wouldn't consider them pregnancy cravings, or just normal cravings. I guess it is really just different for everyone. For me personally, I haven't experienced those cravings yet, which sometimes just make me sad, because I'm like, man, I can't have that, like where I tell someone like, can you get me this, I'm pregnant, like my husband or my sister. But they'll do it. I love that they'll still do it. Like they'll ask me, oh, what do you want, because you're the pregnant one. But I'll be honest with them, like, I mean, honestly, I don't have cravings, but sure, let's have this, you know. With Alex, he knows I don't have cravings, but I will tell him, oh, baby wants this or baby wants that, just because I want to be able to say it, but he knows that it's not an actual craving. There's times where he'll ask me like, is it you or the baby? But it's always just, it's just me, you know. I don't feel like I have pregnancy cravings, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm still telling him, baby wants this, you know. And he'll be like, okay, let's go. He's all happy. He's actually sad that I don't get cravings either, because he told me, he was like, I really was hoping you would get cravings, because we were just gonna be eating, you know, out all the time. And I'm like, thank God I don't have those. He's thankful too, because I'm like, no, I'm trying to be as healthy as possible. Yes, I fulfill, like I still have food, like I still have pizza and burgers and fries and all of that, but I'm keeping it balanced for sure, because I'm thinking about my baby here, and sometimes I feel guilty when it's just even once a week. If I splurge and I enjoy something, I feel guilty, because I'm like, I shouldn't be giving this to my baby. But I'm trying to do better. I know people say, you're pregnant, who cares, don't worry about that. No, you gotta care, it's your baby. I feel like I see it as, I gotta start implementing these habits so that my baby has healthy habits as well. So again, it's just me. You do as you please for your pregnancy. I'm gonna do as I please for my pregnancy. Next question, when are you due? So happy for you guys. So I answered that already, kind of. I think I'm due in March. I haven't said my exact date. Again, I checked the one that they gave me at the doctor's. It's March 13 or 14, 13 or 14. But my due days after that. But in March, mid-March, I'm due mid-March. And thank you very much. Will you be having a gender reveal, or do you guys know the gender already? So I'm gonna share with you guys a video. We actually got the gender results, so let's play that really quick.
Well, there's gonna be our gender reveal.
Okay, so we did we went to the doctors, and they told us the gender results were not in the test that we did. They said it wasn't on there, so we're gonna check it, because we just want to double check. It shouldn't be on there, but we're recording just in case we find out gender. Ready?
Go. Oh, I didn't say anything.
No. Oh, maybe
Oh.
Should we check?
No, then it's gonna be right there.
Babe, we could find out the gender right now. It says view full report. No. Are we done? Back to test.
It's probably right there.
You think so?
Because she was saying this is only your carrier screening.
No, we'll wait.
We should, no? Because it was right there.
How about I look at it and I surprise you?
No.
I'll make a cute little surprise for you.
No.
Yeah.
No, I want to know what you...
Okay, let's find out right now then. No or no? Do you rather wait? I respect your decision.
You don't want to wait?
No.
Go find out right now.
Yeah, I've been wanting to know.
Go, you can find out then.
For real?
If you want. We still can't.
It's on there. No, it says view results.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We can still see it. Wow.
It is on there.
It's saying, are you sure? Are you sure? We could find out. We're about to find out anyway. If it was on there.
Because I was not expecting it to be on there though. Honestly. I had hope that she knew what she was doing.
She didn't. So no, wait. Because now you know it's on there.
Okay, let's wait.
Okay.
I guess we'll have to wait. I'm only gonna let y'all suffer for a bit because our gender reveal is actually coming up very soon. I won't share the date yet, but it's coming very soon. So we're about to find out. We're having a gender reveal. I'll give more details in another video about that, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I'll share it on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on there. But it's coming very soon. I'm super excited. Okay, next one is not a question. So she said, not a question, but girl, I had a dream you were pregnant before you announced it. I included this one because, first of all, it's crazy that you were a bruja and you had a dream of it. And I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, you're not a bruja. But I included this question because you're not the first person to tell me this. So before I told my cousin Blanca, which many of you know as Yvette EXO, she had actually had a dream that I was pregnant. Nashma told my sister, and then my sister told me, and I was like, dang it, man. Now when I tell her, she's gonna be like, I knew it. Like, I had a dream. Like, I wanted to be a surprise to where she had no clue. She was not expecting at all. So I'm like, this damn dream ruined it. But yeah, my cousin dreamt it before. I don't know exactly when she dreamt it, but I know she dreamt it before. Once I already knew, that's when I found out, when I was already pregnant. I was like, oh shoot. Another person that dreamt it, which I thought was really crazy, was my niece Vivian. This happened when she told me. We were actually on our way to my sister's gender reveal. This was the week before I found out that I was pregnant, and we had carpooled with my parents. It was my husband and I and my niece, and she randomly, we were on our way to the gender reveal, and she randomly was like, Nina, I forgot to tell you, I had a dream that you were pregnant. And right away I was like, oh my god, because it was kind of in my head like, what if I am pregnant? Because I knew, you know, it had happened when we were ovulating, but I didn't know yet. It was just like, oh shoot, you know. Also, what's crazy is she had a dream that my sister was gonna have a boy before we knew the gender. So these are two dreams already that she's been right about. And she actually had another dream. She told me that she had a dream that I was having a girl, but at this point we were kind of, you know, she's little, she's 11, so we're thinking she probably got excited, and what if she didn't even have the dream and she just told us, because we were like, oh, what am I gonna have, you know? So yeah, that was her dream. Again, if I have a boy or girl, I'm looking forward to whichever it is. I'm not picking sides. There's one that I'm getting more, I don't know if it's an intuition but I'm just getting more points on what I think it's gonna be, but I'm not trying to think, okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna have, because I also don't want to get my hopes up for that gender and then it be the other. And not that I would, again, not that I care, but I just don't want to in my head think, okay, this is what I'm gonna have, then we start looking up clothes and get excited for it and then be the opposite. So yes, I have kind of like a feeling on a gender, but whichever happens, I'll be super happy. Last question finally. Oh, just kidding, that was it. Oh yeah, that was 20 questions, y'all. That was it. That was the last of the questions. I do want to thank everyone. I got so many sweet messages, so many sweet comments. So thank you everyone for your support, your sweet messages, and everyone who participated in submitting your questions. Thank you very much. This video would have not happened without you all. Please like, comment, and share, and turn on the notifications so you're notified on the next video, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Love y'all. Besos.